And if you lay it all out there and nothing changes, then you have your answer. And
That
then
is
maybe
true.
you set up more boundaries there.
So maybe this is that one time that go spend time around Father's Day and see what the outcome is, and then kind of make your decision from there on how you want to move forward. And then we're not saying completely cut off communication at all, but maybe definitely take a step back and maybe not be the only one that reaches out. Hi, and welcome back to a new episode of Dear Dilemma. First, I want to thank everybody for letting us take the week off for me to grieve. I'm still grieving. I'm not going to cry yet. Not in this episode, but
Maybe
possibly
in another one
coming up. And you might notice we're in a different setting right now. Yeah. So it's nice here in Indiana, and we wanted to sit outside and film because there's no way we could wear those lovely
hoodies.
Yeah, Dear Dilemma. Yeah. We should get some merch going.
Yeah, we probably should. Let us know if you would be interested in any merch, because we would totally be down to do that.
100% sign up for merch.
Yeah.
So anyways, today we're back with a lovely new, well, I want to say lovely.
Well, yeah, it's an anonymous submission.
It is an anonymous submission.
Maybe not lovely. It's a struggle.
It's a struggle, and it's geared towards Father's Day, too. So, Hannah, what do we have?
So, the writer says, I've been struggling with how to handle my relationship with my father. With Father's Day coming up, it is hard for me to want to even make the effort because he is so hard to be around. Every time I invest in him, I leave sad because he always hurts my feelings by his actions and words. I love him, but I don't know how to have boundaries without regrets.
That's hard.
That is hard.
That's hard because they're your parent no matter what, and you want to be there for them even though they're not maybe, reciprocating that love back or that effort back.
Yeah.
And it's especially hard around Father's Day of like, do you take the time to go and visit if they may not really even care?
And it's like kind of I don't know, my husband and I joke a lot that it's a Hallmark holiday. Like, it's just, but it makes you feel obligated to spend time with your family or those certain individuals that the holiday's surrounded by, and it puts a lot of pressure on the relationship, I think.
Yeah, I think personally for my family, Mother's Day is the more where I feel like we always do something and it's obligated to go, and if you don't go, then it's like, why are you not here? Father's Day, my dad really just doesn't care. He's like, yeah, come over if you want. Like, he doesn't, but I feel like for women it's a little bit different. So for this situation, I also think it would be something like if I was in that position, I would feel like if I didn't go, then I'm robbing myself of time that I would have with my dad.
Yeah. I mean, I feel bad saying this, but a lot of times I do think like, well, what if that was the last Father's Day that I saw him and like I chose not to show up, Like, I don't want to be morbid, but
we did that for Mother's Day. We got together even though, no offense, not everyone really wanted to. Yeah. But we did it in case it was like our grandma's last.
Yeah.
Because you don't know. Or anybody.
Well,
really.
Yeah, you just really never know. Yeah. And I don't want this person to regret that. But I also think there's something to be said about just coming out and discussing your feelings with your father. So, like, if you haven't had that really tough talk with him, I don't know that Father's Day is like the time to do it. But I do think that it should be a conversation that you should consider having, at least to explain what your feelings are, like why are you sad? Obviously there's more to that relationship than what we're being told.
It's a hard one because you also have to set boundaries too with yourself, even though it's really hard, and it's that battle of, do I go, do I not go, do they care, do they not care? If they don't, maybe it is time to cut ties. But and it depends on who wrote this in, but if you're also like, not saying it's a girl, but daddy's girl, daddy's, you don't want to give up on him no matter what the situation is. And I think if it's for Father's Day, it's one day, maybe just kind of not suck it up, but in a way, do what you got to do. And then if something were to happen, you wouldn't have any regrets of not going.
I do agree with that, but I also think if the relationship with her father is to the point where it's really toxic, I think it's okay to also cut people out of your life. Yeah. I mean,
just because they're blood doesn't mean
Amen to that. Exactly. Yeah, I mean, sometimes like those are the closest people to you, but they're the ones that hurt you the most. And you almost have to have more boundaries with those people that are closest to you because of how it makes you feel. And if it really like makes you feel really emotionally exhausted when you leave and you're really sad, I mean, is it worth it at the end of the day?
Is it worth your anxiety, your mental, your emotional state, even physical, because then anxiety can kick in and then you're like sweating or you're really nervous or you're upset stomach.
Or you have panic attacks or
something.
So
it could be even worth it. But yeah, I get what you're saying with the family because I do be standing up to my parents. I'm like older and I don't even care anymore. There is no filter. I mean, you're going to get it, and whether you like it or not.
I think so. Personally, I've kind of struggled with this. Like, I feel like I can
teach you.
I can relate with the writer actually. So, like my stepdad shows up a lot. He's just like there, and he's always there, and he really shows his love by actions. And my dad is kind of the opposite. Like, I think he wants to be invited in, and I don't always have the capacity to do that. Like, I'm
exhausting.
It is. It's exhausting, and I'm already exhausted anyways. Like, I have a 3-year-old, and I have things that I'm trying to work through in my life, and I don't always have the capacity to be like, oh yeah, come over, oh do this, oh do that.
And you shouldn't always have to reach out either. What if you know? That's another thing I think with our parents and with family or friends is your dad reaching out to you even, or are you always the one that have to initially make that contact?
I think that's a great point because it really does, like both parties have to be involved in that relationship in order for it to work. And I do think that it's really hard sometimes because you get to know your parents as an adult, and sometimes you don't like who they are or what qualities they have, and you kind of have to like grieve that in a way because when you grew up as a child, you like
block all that out and you got the veil on. You don't see all that because you're not noticing it.
You're like, oh, mommy, daddy. Like, you're just so excited that they're always around, and then you kind of get to know therapy. Them. Me too, man.
We need to go together. But one deal.
You really do. Like, you get to know who they are, and you're like, oh, I don't like that quality about them.
Or like that aspect, or like, oh, I thought that you didn't do that. And that goes to both
moms and dads.
I'm not targeting just one person.
Yeah. Moms and dads. No. But I do think, like you said, it's good to just have no filter in a sense of, like, this is how I feel.
Yeah, because I feel like sometimes it's better to be blunt and honest, whether they like it or not. They're adults, and they need to own up. I will refrain from saying the words. Own the up on things that they do that's not okay, and whatever that situation is with this person's dad, that he's an adult, your actions, what you're doing. Don't act dumb. Like, you need to own up and do that. And that goes to a lot of parents. Like, even if I ever become a parent and I make a mistake or whatever it may be, or my actions aren't good, I'm gonna own up and be like, ooh, maybe that probably wasn't a good choice.
I mean, I think you can give your parent the benefit of the doubt in the sense of they're trying to do the best that they can, and they've always tried to maybe do the best that they could with
their
the
first time parenting.
Right. Like, they don't know just as much as, like, you as a parent, like, now, if you were a parent, like, you don't always know what you're doing. You just try to do the best that you can. But as an adult, I think it's important to take responsibility for those things that your kid is coming to you and saying. And if you lay it all out there and nothing changes, then you have your answer. And then maybe you set up more boundaries there.
So maybe this is that one time that go spend time around Father's Day and see what the outcome is, and then kind of make your decision from there on how you want to move forward. And we're not saying completely cut off communication at all, but maybe definitely take a step back and maybe not be the only one that reaches out. But I'm like that with my dad just because of his health. Like, I'll text him and I'll be like, are you alive? Like, almost every day, are you alive? He's like, yeah, I'm alive. I'm like, okay, just checking.
Like, just making sure.
Making sure. But because he's not always the one that reaches out first, unless he has a question or whatever it may be. I mean, but he's been there for me a lot with the whole my dog situation. So, like, yeah, you got to put the boundaries in place. You got to protect your peace as well, even though you're part of them, they're part of you. You just have to make the decision. I say, because it's close to Father's Day, or it's coming up, whenever it is, I say take that day. If he wants to spend it, see kind of what the vibe is, how he is. Maybe he might reach out first. Mm-hmm. And if he doesn't, then you reach out and then kind of go from there afterwards to say, okay, I really need to build a wall or start building a wall or whatever it may be.
And either maybe if you feel like the vibes are right, have a conversation with him about how you're feeling sad when you leave those interactions, or maybe you just choose to be positive on Father's Day and just hang out and let it be, and then have that conversation another day. But I do advise, I mean, I think that that's a conversation that needs to be had.
I mean, you can have it. And some parents just ignore how you feel, and they don't care. And they're just like, well, they act like they're not in the wrong. And you're like, yes, you are. Like, why? Look at yourself in the mirror, and that can happen too. So it's kind of a 50-50. We're there for you. We're praying for you that everything goes well, because obviously we don't want a, father-daughter, father-son relationship to end. But we understand when things have to, because we struggle with things within our family where you have to kind of like take a big step back and not maybe reach out as much.
And maybe things would change or get better in the future. Yeah. Maybe things won't. I mean, you have to be prepared for both when you have those conversations. But I think, at least you can go home and, like Brooke said, you have to find your peace at the end of the day. So if it's going to give you more peace to just say how you felt, then do it.
Yeah. And if it's not, and you are okay with not contacting or not going and seeing him, then that's okay too. I mean, it's what you have to end up living with your decisions, and we'll support you no matter what you do.
Yeah.
So
we wish you good luck. I hope that everything goes well. I hope that you can have a positive interaction with your dad and maybe have a good outcome from it. And don't forget to comment, like, subscribe to our social media channels.
Yep, on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. I'm trying to think. It's been a week. At Dear Dilemma Official. We'll see you next time.
Bye.